I would like to tell you that I've seen in the past 3 days Mission Impossible, which I am going to just tell you the truth. I didn't like it. Probably the worst Mission Impossible of all 7. Sorry, Tom Cruise. I really wanted to like it more. How was his run? His run was good. He opens with a nice clean run, and I was thinking, we're back, baby. We're so back. Nothing is worse than 2. I think 2 is bad, but campy. And this one felt bad, but like very formulaic. I don't know. I don't want to hate on it too much. I thought it was very mid, and usually I really like the Mission Impossible movies. It kind of flopped. It's super flopped, but not really his fault. Not Tom Cruise's fault. Not really even the movie's fault. It's not the quality that mattered. It's the fact that it released 1 week before Barbenheimer. So the other thing I saw was Oppenheimer. And I want to talk about Oppenheimer for a second, because Oppenheimer is an interesting movie. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It is 3 hours plus, and it does have only one thing bothered me in the whole movie, and that is Christopher Nolan's insistence that his characters speak in whispers with a German accent while music plays. And it's like, I really want to hear every bit of dialogue. They're having a good back and forth. And it's like, bro, it's legitimately, there's some times where I'm like begging my ears to try and pick up, you know, it'll be like a fun back and forth between 2 scientists, and they'll just be like, and then one of them will laugh like it was hilarious. And I'm like, dude, yes, the dialogue though. But we saw it in the only 70 millimeter IMAX theater in LA, and one of like 30 of these in the world, at the Chinese theater. It was sick. And when the bomb goes off, and it's like, it was like a 60-foot high thing, and then the sound hit, it was sick. I mean, it was dope. It was really cool way to see it. I appreciated it. I liked it. I think the movie was great. Well made. Everyone I mean, also, the other part of the movie that's not bad at all, I'm just kind of poking fun at it, is there is an absurd amount of cameos. Every single character is like a famous actor, like kind of trying to, it's like an absurd. I mean, it's like, it lives in a weird world where every single person is a famous actor, and everybody looks too you know, yeah, Josh Peck being the person to like have the shaky hand on the bomb button is crazy. There must be a better actor for such an important pivotal scene than Josh Peck. Like, I've seen that guy in Drake and Josh, and now he's like the man with the hand on the button for the nuclear bomb. He did fine. But it just, that was my only thing, was like, if there's too many actors, then I'm thinking like, oh, that's Josh Peck, and not like this is that character, you know? Again, these are tiny nitpicks. My final tiny nitpick, I think those are my main ones, right? Again, I only nitpick movies, as you can see with my Fast and the Furious fucking 25-minute video today. I only nitpick movies that I like. Otherwise, I just don't even watch them. I am nitpicking that so much of this 3-hour movie relies on one scene where Oppenheimer makes fun of Robert Downey Jr. and is like, isotopes, more like a sandwich. And he says this line, and they play this fucking scene like 18 times in the movie. They keep cutting back to this same scene over and over and over. Isotopes are about as useful as a sandwich. Isotopes are about as useful as a sandwich. And then every time it cuts to Robert Downey Jr.'s face and he's so embarrassed, he's like, oh. And they do it over and over. And it's like, they built his whole character. Now, I looked it up because I was like incredulous. I was like, they can't do it again. They did it again. That's real. That literally happened. But he didn't say sandwich. He said it's like more useful than vitamins or whatever, but people laughed. So it really happened. That being said, for the movie, they make it like that is the big fucking pivotal character arc. Like that turns Robert Downey Jr.'s character into, I don't know. To me, it was a little bit much, but again, that's only a minor nitpick. Overall, I think the movie, pretty incredible. I mean, obviously just super well made. It's so weird to think of Einstein as like a real person. Seeing Einstein in like a fucking loose fitting sweater, just frumping around. He just took shits, you know? Einstein like fucking sat on the couch one day and fucking ate chips. Scratched his belly. Like it's just weird to not think of him outside of a lab, like doing important work. But it turns out, like if you read his Wikipedia, which I Wikipedia deep dived like crazy after this movie. I mean, Einstein did almost all of the work he's famous for in 1 year. He had like one super year where he published like 4 different papers that changed everything. And then the rest of his life, he kind of vibed. And in fact, did some things that were disparate. Like he had a fucking banger year and chilled for a long, long time. That's the way to do it. That's the way to. Why are we all collectively saying that's the way to do it? Like we're gonna drop 4 fucking pivotal physics papers in a year. Which one of you is working on the fucking life-changing theories that are gonna, all of you are? What's your theory that's gonna shake up the world, Einstein style? E equals MC cubed. X equals QC. That's fucking genius, dude. The Trinity test explosion was kind of underwhelming. Bro, you are such a fucking demanding consumer. I feel like that was one of the most beautiful scenes in the whole film. I mean, I thought that was fucking stunning. And then the way it hit me with a fucking wall of sound afterwards in the theater was awesome. I thought it was extremely well done. I thought it added I don't know what you wanted. Did you want... I think what you wanted... I actually got it. Actually, I was thinking during the movie that it would be slightly better if right after the bomb exploded, Oppenheimer looked right into the camera and said, that just happened. Like that, I think it's what you wanted, and that would have been sick. I agree. I think that would have made the movie better. I know the dialogue was a little bit off. I wish when they were talking about like, I wish when Oppenheimer was like, yeah, you know, I kind of have sympathy for communist ideals. I wish the other guy next to would have been like, uh-oh, Truman's right behind me, isn't he? That would have been sick. And then Truman walks in, he's right behind him. That would have been fucking awesome. Like, I wish they had a little bit more of that. I wish Einstein had a little bit more of like a funny sidekick type charm. Nuclear fission? You fishing to get your ass whooped, Oppenheimer. That would have been sick. That would have been a funny, like that would have been a good little back, like a duo, you know? I could definitely see how the movie could be improved. Don't get me wrong. Hollywood, if the writer's strike ever ends, you can hire me and I could save your fucking scripts. He didn't even say Eureka. Yeah, I know. It's a little bit cringe. They didn't all say catchphrases. Why wasn't there a big CGI fight scene? Yeah, I mean, that was crazy too. The end of the movie is like, so the bomb goes off and I'm like, oh, here it comes. Now we get the fight scene. Now we get the war. And instead it was like a poignant character study on the, you know, the later part of his life with the trial. And it's like, okay, what about like Godzilla? You know, where's that? Oh yeah. Yeah. Him saying I have become death, destroyer of worlds during a sex scene was a little cringe. It was a little cringe. But again, I want to emphasize that like, this is a really good movie. It's a really well-made movie. And it made this period of history very interesting to me. And I learned things that I didn't know. And I looked up more things afterwards. And that's all you can ask, you know? From what I looked up, the guy that Robert Downey Jr. played, Strauss, is like a multifaceted, interesting person. And they really made him out to be like this guy that got called a sandwich once. And decided to make his entire life story taking down Oppenheimer. They definitely like simplified him but you have to do that because the movie's about Oppenheimer, not him. I thought Matt Damon, fucking dirty dog Damon. I like the part in the middle when Oppenheimer was like, I don't know if we should drop this bomb. And then Matt Damon said, fortune favors the bold. And he flashed a little crypto token and then he pressed the button. That was sick. That part actually fucking carried. Imagine if he bought ETH in 1945. So true. The fucking returns, dude. The ROI. If you just fucking... That's what the US should have done. Instead of investing $2 billion in a nuclear bomb, they should have just put it all into ETH. And they would have just outspent Japan. If you sent me back in time with the information of when crypto would peak, I would still not buy it out of spite. Okay, you're just stupid. What a fucking waste of time travel. God, you're dumb. Who are you spiteful against? He would just short Twitter. Well, that would be really stupid, right? Because Twitter was about flat. Then Elon Musk bought it for way above what it's worth. And then you can't buy it anymore. So shorting Twitter would be like the one way you could lose money by going back in time. Imagine you don't remember what happened. So you, so you get a time machine and you get broker, dude. Yeah, I think Twitter went downhill. I don't remember how it goes. So and then you, that would be really. What if Oppenheimer created crypto instead of the nuke? Really makes you think. It does. It does make you think. It does. I mean, it made me think. You know, and this is probably what the movie was trying to go for a little bit, and I felt suckered into it. But I do feel like we don't do big moonshot projects anymore. Like as a country, as a society, we and people don't really want to be scientists or physicists or like nobody wants to do any of this shit anymore. And it's like important. And here's my honest, serious thought is that you know, and I think people have said this since the dawn of time, and I'm including myself. I do think we are collectively dumber as a human race.